Hi friends, in today's episode we are going to discuss about handling of in-process material in pharmaceutical industry. So first of all we will see what is in-process material. In our previous sessions we had seen the movement of raw material to the finished product. So the stages between this raw material to the finished product, we can see it as a in-process stages, or we can call that material as a in-process material. For example, we can see the sifted material, granulated material, dried material, dry screen or size granules, lubricated material, then compressed tablet, coated tablet, inspected tablet, thickness sorted tablet, primary packed tablet. These all stages between the raw material to the finished product, we can say it as a in-process material. So this is about the in-process material. So how to maintain this in-process material in in-process store, we will see. So to store these all stages of material, in-process material, we require a one in-process store, or we can say the Korenstein store. So in this in-process store, these all stages of material can be stored in a proper manner so that mix up, cross contamination, contamination cannot be happen. So first of all, we will see about the in-process store. So this in-process store must be maintained in such a manner that all these in-process material can be stored in stage-wise manner, or segregated material can be stored, or we can say many of the companies maintain the in-process material for one stage, one in-process store. Means the granulated material can be stored in one in-process store, compressed tablet can be stored in another in-process store, coated tablet can be stored in a different in-process store. So the mix-up and easily mix-up can be avoided, and easily identification of the material can be possible. So first of all, this in-process store must have the restricted access so that only the authorized person can be entered into the in-process store. Only the authorized person can be stored in this in-process store and can be issue the material and can be submit the material into this in-process storage area. Dedicated persons are appointed there to maintain the material inward and outward. So whenever there is a inward of material, that material should be well closed, properly labeled, and totally dust free. That is, from externally it should be cleaned. All this material which is kept in the closed container, that container must be labeled in a proper manner. That label must be easily identifiable, and that label must present the product name, batch number, batch size, weight of that material, then next stage of that material, current stage of that material, and labeled by and cross verified by. All this detail must be there on the status label. Along with this material, the record of that material means batch manufacturing record must be submitted while submitting this material to the in-process store. That record must be completed up to the current stage of the process material. Along with the batch manufacturing record, all this material, that material must be shrink wrapped externally so that all the material can be stacked in the various racks in a proper manner. While receiving this material at the in-process store, the in-process store person must check all this detail, which is label claim, cross-verify the batch manufacturing record, and after satisfactory cross-checking, after satisfactory getting the all information, he has to receive that material and stack into the various racks which is provided at the in-process storage area. At the time of stacking all this material, he has to do the entry into the register which is provided at the in-process storage area and give the allocation number to that pallet or to that material, and that same number must be presented or recorded at the in-process store register. That location number must be there, and at the same time in that in-process store register, all entry about this material must be done while receiving the material, just like a location number, serial number, product name, batch number, current stage of the material, number of containers, then the material submitted by, material received by, on which date this material is received, then at which location this material is stacked. And along with the batch manufacturing record, he has to receive this material and stack into the rack which is provided in the in-process storage area. And he has to keep the batch manufacturing record into the cupboard which is provided in the in-process storage area. So this is the receiving process at the in-process storage area. So whenever there is a requirement of this material into the process area to be processed for the next stage, that material must be issued from this in-process store. So at the time of issuance, the both person, which is material issuer and material receiver, has to check all the label claim, that is product name, batch number, batch size, weight, current stage of material, next stage of the material, that all details has to check along with the batch manufacturing record, and then this material can be received by the receiving person. And the in-process store person must have to do the entry into the in-process storage area register. How much container of which batch, of which batch number, of which product he had given to the receiving person, and he has to do the entry into the register that material is out from the in-process storage area. If a receiving person or issuance person found any discrepancies while issuing this material, while receiving this material from in-process storage area, then this material he has to quarantine, he has to isolate and hold this material and highlight this issue to the superior or quality assurance person to investigate for further stages. And after investigation or after the decision given by the senior person or quality assurance person, he has to follow the next process. Due to the any discrepancies, if material get segregated or material get hold, then that whole material must be isolated or must be marked by attaching the yellow chain. Means whole material can be isolated from the other material by attaching the yellow chain to its surrounding or to its container. This is for the whole material. If due to any reason material get rejected, then this rejected material is isolated from the other material by the red chain. This type of chain must be stored in the in-process storage area for isolation of the material from the good material. So this is the isolation process. So for better storage or better segregation and easy identification, there is also another process, means storage of the stage wise material into the color coding container. To do the color coding or to maintain the color coding, there must be a fixed process, means which color coded material to be used for the which stages. So this we have to fix first of all, and as per this predefined process, this color coded material, color coded container can be used to store the different stages of the material, so that segregation can be easily possible, and this color coding is very helpful to avoid the cross contamination and mix up in the huge in process storage area. So this is a very useful and beneficial method to isolate or to segregate the method by doing the color coding of the product storage containers. So this is about the isolation and segregation of the material in the in-process storage area. If any material, just like a mother batch or any intermediate material, is storage into the in-process storage area along with its record, and this material is to be used into the different stages or in different batches, then frequently this material we have to issue from the in-process storage area and can be used into the process area, or partial quantity can be distributed into the different daughter batches. So to maintain this stock of these mother batches, there must be the record we have to maintain the stock of this mother batch. For example, if 100 kg material is there of the mother batch and we have to distribute this 100 kg material 5 times into the different batches at a different days or at a different times, then we have to maintain the stock and we have to keep the record for it. So such type of record can be maintained along with the batch material or batch manufacturing record. How much material is initially there? Then first first time how much material is distributed, how much is balance. Then we have to submit this batch along with the batch record first time. Then next time along with this record we have to receive this batch from the in-process store. Then second time how much material we had distributed, and then how much is balance. We have to maintain this stock along with this batch so that we can easily identify how much material is there initially and how much material is distributed frequently, and whether stock is going to be nil or it is balanced, we can know easily. So we can maintain such type of record along with the mother batches. Then environment condition. To maintain the proper environment condition in this in-process store is very important. All these in-process material we are keeping in a closed manner, in a clean container and closed container, but till we have to maintain the in-process store environment condition just like a temperature, relative humidity and differential pressure. As per the product ranges, for the environment condition, we have to maintain all these environment condition in this storage area, for this storage area, and we have to record this environment condition once in a shift or once in a day. That must be the predefined. And according to this predefined frequency, we have to maintain and we have to record these environmental conditions into the in-process storage area. Then, while handling this material, for easily identification of this material into the racks, there must be the numbering system must be there to these containers or racks, and that numbering system must be recorded into the in-process storage area record. While taking this material into the process area, we have to again cross verify the all label claim material, and then we have to take into the in-process storage area. While receiving in the in-process storage area, we have to remove the shrink film if any protective covering is there. This shrink film or stretch wrapping we have to remove, and all this covering must be thrown into the waste bin of the respective area. While cutting the cable tie of this in-process material, that must be cut in a very clean and neatly, so that pieces of cable tie must not be entered into the product. So care should be taken while handling of this in-process material is very important. Whenever you are handling this material, our first responsibility is to check the label, and this label identification checking is very crucial in the pharmaceutical industry to avoid any type of mix-up or cross-contamination. So this is about handling of the in-process material into the pharmaceutical industry. Thank you.